running since I was 6 years old. So I've run for 15 years. And as a writer, I always thought it would be kind of corny to write a poem in the context of a race. But last year, I was having some very heavy academic issues. And it left me thinking, what am I leaving behind for the ones that come after me? And I got obsessed with legacy and generations. So I wrote this poem as a letter to my future son, unborn, he's not existing. I wrote the letter to him and I wrote it in the context of a relay, and I titled the poem, Relay to My Son. Without further ado. Dear son, my race is almost over. I'm picking up my knees and my legs are barely turning over. You see, I'm coming down the home stretch and I've done all that I can. But before I hand you this baton, there are some things that I need you to understand. I want you to take 3 quick hard steps and get out, and after you start your race, don't let it start with any doubt, and after you take those steps, I want you to look me in the eyes and stretch out your hand and know that I've given you all that I had, done all that I can. And if I don't give it to you at first, then I need you to go and take that lead. And if I do give it to you at first, you better hold it down. Take off. Strengthen your steps and run with all of your heart. But don't try to live too fast and do it all at the start. And don't you dare look back and don't look around. If it starts to hurt, you better not make any single sound. You don't have time to focus on the pain in life. You will have people in that crowd. Brother, sister, uncle, mother, father, maybe a wife. They are there to see you do nothing but succeed, which is easier than it sounds if you only believe. But if it hurts that bad, son, I want you to remember me. Look at my race, where I strive and where I sprint. But don't just remember the good, because trust me, that wasn't it. Your strength is determined by how you hold when it gets hard. So just know that when others broke down, Daddy never fell apart. Daddy did his thing and made sure he did his part, and feel no shame, and don't be mad, because I did the very same thing with my own dad. Now son, understand why I tell you don't look back. You are not the only person running on this track. There are sharks, there are losers, there are weak-spirited, egotistical, overly physical, wannabe spiritual, struggling as individual players who think they're all that. And there's nothing that they like more than for you to fall back. So you keep your shoulders high and never cry, because like me, you carry more than your own blood inside. You carry the baton of generations. And this race is more important than any selection, any election, more important than your ego, and your erections, and more important than sex with no protection, and more important than desperate sense of perfection. You see, it's more important than lacking virtue, lacking patience, or doing the bare minimum, and barely trying to make you see it's more important than having a pool, being in a crew, or soaking over your shoulders and singing the blues, because you haven't learned by now, this is not about you. Yeah. So even when all is lost, and you begin to get confused, just remember this one thing. You cannot afford to lose. Now you take this baton, so I'm just about done. Get off that line and shoot your own gun, because this race is not over until we have won. There are angels above you, singing, cheering, humming, making sure you feel not, and making sure you keep loving, so you go set that track on fire and make sure it keeps on burning. So when your son's willing to take that baton, there is no doubt he sees you coming. Thank you.